Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Steven Rondina here for a special edition of Your Dota 2 News. This is actually our second episode in one day. And when I say ours, I mean mine, because my usual co-host, M-Target, is not actually here right now. But I'm here to talk to you about the most recent update to the TI7 Battle Pass. So earlier today, on July 6th, Thursday, in the year of our Lord 2017, the update for the Compendium Fantasy Player cards just dropped. And with that, you might be wondering, 1, what the heck are they? 2, what the heck is Fantasy Dota? And 3, maybe even, what the heck is fantasy sports? So if you've ever played fantasy sports, be it fantasy football, fantasy baseball, or any of the bad ones, because those are the two important ones, they are basically a game designed around amassing the best collection of in-game stats from the real game. In fantasy football, it's about getting yards, getting touchdowns, getting passes completed, etc., etc. In Dota 2, it's about many different things, but pretty much exactly what you would expect: kills, assists, CS, etc., etc., etc. So, I'm going to switch over to share screen so you can see what's going on right now. So we can finish each shot, and okay. So, here's the compendium. You can just get into it right here with the player cards. You can open up your packs over here. It's opening up. You'll get 5 cards per pack. So there are 3 levels of rarity. The commons, these 4 are commons. And then there are the occasional silver or gold cards. And the common cards will give you just your base statistics. But for the example of our silver card right here of Dubu from Digital Chaos, he gets a 15% boost on deaths, a 25% boost on tower kills, and a 25% boost on team fight. So that makes this card right here more valuable than these ones, generally speaking. Since Digital Chaos is a pretty darn good team, it's more valuable than, say, our Tomato here from Infamous. But if we had, for the sake of comparison, if OG has an easy day in the tournament in comparison to Digital Chaos, you might want to lean in favor of someone from OG. But the main thing is you want to capitalize on getting statistics based on matchups. So, how are you going to do that? Well, you go into your fantasy section of your compendium. You get to just build your lineup day by day. Just click on change card. I'll just fill in mine real quick. And round it out with Febby. So, on the day, August 2nd, which would be the first day of the group stages, I would get points from these 5 players. Again, you get points on a number of different statistics, ranging from basic stuff like kills and deaths and tower kills to more elaborate stuff like GPM to even more elaborate stuff like jungle camps stacked and so on. So ultimately, it's about picking the best players in the best matchups. So who are the best players going to be? Well, you can go over to the invite section, and these 6 are going to be your favorites. In most cases, you're going to want to lean in favor of them. They're the most likely to have strong games. These 6 were invited directly to the international, while all the rest had to play their way in. So if you get any silvers or golds of any players on these teams, you're going to want to just run them as hard as you can. But if you get other players like from Team Secret, Team NP, IG Vitality, and either LGD team and TNC, those are all very good teams. that have very high upside in fantasy. So, just a few general tips. Pretty straightforward stuff. Seems obvious, not always obvious as it should be. One is to not open your packs until fairly close to the event. And obviously, you just saw me open some packs, but the concern there, and we've seen it previously, particularly with the Boston Major, not all the players and all the teams are going to be able to make it to the international in all likelihood. And it's a sad fact of esports. Visa issues plague teams from Southeast Asia and Eastern Europe. And I mean, Execration is a team that earned an invite to the International 7, and they didn't get to play in the Boston Major because of visa issues. So we don't know what teams are ultimately going to replace them, but you don't want to have a bunch of Execration cards only to find out that they're not going to play. That happened to me for the Boston Major, and you don't want it to happen to you. The other thing is make sure you keep track of the actual schedule. Not every team is going to be playing every day. With the group stages, it's broken up into 2 different brackets, and not everyone plays each day, so you're going to want to make sure that you keep track of who is playing when. They haven't been announced yet. Again, it's July 6th, but it will be coming out before the International. And once that comes out, that's when you should probably open up all your cards. And at the very least, get your best cards in. And that's about it. We had an episode earlier today about the recent announcements to the majors and minors system. And just feel free to look it up. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we will be here next week. So everybody,